Mhm. Oh, cool. Yep. And we are recording. So we want to welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the, y'all know it's third Monday, the last month of the year, December. Welcome to the brand new development series with the Black Professional Men, JNF Enterprises. I'm your host, your person that's here for you, Leroy McKenzie Jr. I got me a special guest today that we're going to get into it. This brother is an awesome brother and doing some big things down in the Florida. I know it's warm down there. I need to be down there right about now.
Yeah. Temperature dropped a little bit though today, but it's
Oh,
cool.
what it dropped to 60,
Oh, God,
65?
listen, I'm a New Yorker, so I don't complain. Hey, I enjoy it. I still got shorts on, so hey, it's all
I
good.
know.
It's all good. I don't complain down here.
I know,
Unless
man.
it's a hurricane, then it's like, all right, time to buckle up. But other than that, man, it's all good.
That's good. That's good. So, yeah. But as y'all know, we bring y'all every third Monday. We bring you we've been bringing you some individuals who are about helping you to develop your business, help you develop personally, professionally, all of those good things. So what we're going to do tonight is the same old, but like I said, we're going to close this year out. We're closing this year out strong. And what better way to close out 2018 than talking about your business credit and what you can do in 2019 so that your business credit, if it isn't straight, you can get it straight. Things that you might not know about business credit, things that you should know that you don't know about business credit, and all those things. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to get into all of that tonight. I'm not going to give you a resume. I'm not going to give you a bio. I'm going to let this brother talk a little bit about himself first off. That's how we're going to start it off. And then we're just going to have a conversation as he and I have had before. Just talking to ourselves, but y'all can listen in. I'll put it that way. Y'all can listen in. But I want to introduce everybody to this good brother. His name is Cedric Butler, and he is out of Florida. But he is what's the title? Credit is it the credit
The business credit guy.
the business credit guy.
The business credit guy.
The
Yes,
business
sir.
credit guy. So anything
Yes, sir.
that has to do with you getting your business credit straight, this is the man that you want to see. He's going to show you. He's going to talk about the money. So I know all of us want to know about the money, how we
That's
can get more of it, how we can best use it, and then what those things that we need to know about it, because money is important when it comes to our businesses and being successful, and how we'll be able to run our businesses, and what it will allow us to be able to do in it. So I'm gonna let him talk a little bit about himself, and then we're gonna go into our conversation just talking about business credit and those things that have to do with establishing the business credit and kind of his principles and philosophies on business credit.
Sounds like a plan. I appreciate that, Leroy McKenzie Jr.
Absolutely.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cedric Butler. Originally from Brooklyn, New York. I have my background in accounting. I have my degree in accounting. Worked in the corporate space for 18 years, doing accounting work, everything you name, from bank reps to balance sheets, recs, things of that nature. Left the corporate space in 2015 to open up my own business in 2016. Started learning about business credit in 2016 and established that in 2016 by making my company a test dummy and learning the ins and outs. So I wanted to, share it with everybody else and consult people through that process, because I think it's an important aspect that everybody should have for their business. So it just shows that you can keep your personal credit separate from your business. And we'll be discussing that tonight.
Absolutely. And that's, like I said, that's the important thing. We'll get into all of those different tips and those different aspects of business credit that we think that people need to know and should hear. Let's first start. Let's start like this. First, define what business credit is for everybody that's listening, because some people might think that, like you just said, separating your business credit from your personal credit. some people might think that it's the same, or it's on the, it's kind of like derived out of the same thing. So can you start with defining what business credit is?
Yes. Okay. So what business credit is, it's a source of financing for entrepreneurs to utilize to build credit lines with different companies. Companies such as Staples, Dell, they have a commercial account or corporate lines of credit for the business. So you can establish that by building business credit to obtain those lines of credit with different companies. So that's what business credit is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, we'll get into how people can begin, because we may have someone who is just starting a business listening in, and then we may have somebody that's already have their business, but they're looking to to start a line of credit or to gain business credit. Can you talk about it? Let's first talk to the entrepreneur that just starting out and says, you know what, I'm looking for capital. How do I go about getting capital to be able to start my business? How would they go about doing that, or what would they be sitting down with you?
Okay, so what the first thing I would tell somebody is, anybody with an active business registered with the state, a DBA, LLC, or corporation, they can build business credit. Mm. Once you establish that with the state that you're in, now you move on to getting such things as your EIN. Mm-hmm. Another component is DUNS number, which a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
And that's a number you get from a company called Dun & Bradstreet, which is a business credit reporting agency. So if a lot of people don't know, just like there's credit agencies on the personal side, there are some on the business side as well. Absolutely. So a DUNS number is something that's needed as well. And it's a free number that you can get. A professional email, website. These are all the components that you need to have in place for your company before you start building credit. Because if you don't, some companies will deny you credit just because you don't have one of the components in place for your business.
Absolutely. And let's start with that. How do you go about building it for someone that's looking to build their credit? What steps do they need to kind of go through to
Okay. So the first thing is making sure that the company is structured properly. So it's these things that I named: DUNS number, the EIN, professional website. You want to have all those components structured first. Then second phase is you'll find companies out there, vendor accounts, that will help you establish credit when you have no credit. Okay. So they will give you a credit line when you have no credit for your business. Okay. So you start making little purchases with them. They may not, everybody who's different industries benefit. Some will benefit, some won't. But I tell people, go ahead and utilize that, because you need those payment experiences or those orders to build up your credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet, because all this information shows up. Mm-hmm. So you want to establish that with a couple of vendor accounts, and then you start moving up the line, because it's tier levels to building up the credit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So once you establish the structure and you're creditable, you can't just jump out there and get a Dell account. They're going to ask for a personal guarantor. So you got to start from the bottom tiers and then work your way up.
And see, a lot of people sometimes they think that they can go from, I call it 0 to 60.
There you go. That's the best way to, that's right. That's right. 0 to
seconds.
Yes. You got to crawl before you walk. Yeah. You have to. So, it's baby steps. I always tell people, progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
So it's steps on doing it.
A lot of people, and even some that may be listening that may be listening tonight, have to understand that there's a process to business, but there's a process and there's a strategy to it that they should have. Even when it comes to establishing your credit, you should understand that it's a process, but then also understand that that not only in the process, you have to go through certain things first, creating a checklist of the things that you need to do, so that you understand, okay, these are the different things I have to do. These are the steps that I have to go through. All right. Step 1 is this. I got that done. Step 2 is this. I got that done. Step 3 is this. I got that done. Because it's so important. Because if you don't know the steps, then you'll find yourself. This is what I found, and you can kind kind of let me know what you think too. Is some people may find themselves all over the place.
That's
Where,
right.
where they're trying to do this, but they kind of, and even sometimes they put the cart before the horse, so to speak. And they wind up messing their personal credit up, and
That's right.
then and then that may even cause them to or affect them in being able to establish the business credit that they want.
That's right. So that's why I tell people when there's an order, and the first thing I tell people to do is once you register your business with the state, the next step is to get the EIN number.
Okay.
Once you got the EIN number, you start establishing the structure as far as professional email. A lot of people think Gmail, Yahoo, things like that are professional email when it's not. You have to establish a professional email where your company name is after the @ symbol. So I tell people get the structure as far as the phone number, your email. So when you do go to DUNS number, you don't have to go back and change that information. Just like when you're getting listed, you want to have that information available. So when you go to those sites, you can put all your business information, and that's concrete before you start moving forward to start applying for credit. Because the structure is the most important thing. You got to get everything right for the structure before you start building up the credit.
Gotcha.
And then once you build the credit, then you just follow most people when come to my program, I consult them and saying, here, you go here first, and you go here, things of that nature. And then I advise them through the process on where to go next.
Absolutely. And that's actually, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about what you do as well, too, in more depth, because we want people to understand and to know what your business is, but also how they can, and we'll get into how they can contact you, how they can actually deal with you, so that they can go through that process.
Right.
With this being the end of 2018. One of the purposes, one of the reasons why I really wanted to have you on was so that folks going into 2019, they can get those steps in order, and so that they can come to people like you and say, hey, what do I need to do? What are the steps? Can you, like you said, guide me through,
correct,
so that I can put myself in the position, because that's what it's all about, is putting yourself in the position to be able to get that line of credit that you may need in order to be able to do some things, or get that line of credit that you want to be able to do to just establish yourself as a strong business out there in whatever particular industry that you happen to be in, and how important that just how important that is, because I'm all about being strategic and having a plan in place, and one of those plans, or part of your plan, and I call them assignments. One of your assignments for 2019 should be establishing your business credit.
Cool. Okay.
Establishing your business credit.
That's right.
And then you work on your plan of action on how you can go about do that. And the first thing that you can do is contact this gentleman here, Mr. Butler, who will be able to, be able to take you through all of the steps, or at least be able to talk with you about what it is that you need to do, the things that you'll be required to do in order to be able to have the credit that you want. Because it is important. Talk a little bit about the separation between your business credit and your personal credit. Do they kind of touch each other, or can they mesh each other? What's the importance of separating the two?
Okay. So the one importance is, we all know life experiences happen. So let's say you had to shut down your business and you had debt in the business of $5,000-$10,000, and if it was tied to you personally, that debt will follow you. So if you default on certain things, we all know how hard it is when that personal credit and a collections account hit that personal credit, or you default, that score drops tremendously. So strategically, you should build business credit just so you can keep your personal credit out of it. Also, business credit helps. So now you have companies that you can go to for your supplies. So you don't always have to come out your pocket for, office supplies or brand new computer, or, if you're in construction, sheetrock, tools, things of that nature. So now you have companies established where you got a credit line and you can go to those suppliers, get your supplies, pay them back within 30 days, maybe have a revolving account with them on 60 days, whatever the case is. But now you don't have to worry about having cash in the bank all the time to get your supplies.
Well, okay. So that's what having the business credit would allow you to do. Now, is there a difference between having business credit and a line of credit?
Yes. So a business credit is having credit with different suppliers.
Okay.
A line of credit is establishing a line of credit with the bank.
Okay.
So with the bank, you have a line of credit sitting there for your disposal, just like business credit, but you have this with different vendors. With the bank, you can use that money for anything. With the line of credit with the different companies, you can only use it with that company.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it,
Exactly.
got it.
Right. And to touch on something you said,
Uh-huh.
personal credit and business credit will mesh when you're dealing with major banks and the major credit cards.
Okay.
People don't understand is, just because you built business credit doesn't mean you don't have to personally guarantor anything. When you go to a bank, they're going to still look at your personal credit because they still want to see if you're credit worthy to pay back this loan of 100K or whatever you're trying to look for. So I tell my business owners, make sure you keep your personal credit intact and also build that relationship with a bank.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you may have to personally guarantor the first loan. But once you start establishing that relationship and running money through that account, once you build that relationship, that second loan, it may be more lenient and say, okay, we'll put this in a business because we see the business as good personal credit. You got business credit and you put money through our bank. So, they might be more lenient to just put it in the business name only. So establish a relationship with a bank. Don't just have your bank accounts and don't have a relationship with your bank because, you want to find out the qualifications, what they're looking for. And if you need money one day, you'll have somebody that you can go to get to the necessary things to grow and establish your business.
Yeah, and I hope the listeners are understanding the importance of establishing relationships.
Yes.
That is very, very, very important when it comes to business, and it's just you never know what relationships will come of relationships that you have, and you should have the team that you should have an accountant, you should have an accountant, you should have an attorney, you should have financial planner, advisor,
right, social media,
right. You should have, along with having one of the bank officers, having a relationship, but having not just kind of knowing them on just on a high and by type of thing, but establishing a relationship with them where, like you just said, you actually can sit where they sit down and talk to you, you talk to them, they get to know you, and they get to know you, you get to know them. I almost liken it to having a relationship with your mechanic. If you have a relationship with your mechanic, you take your car and that mechanic knows your car.
That's right.
He gets to know your car. He knows what things that are working on it, what things, you kind of need to get this done. You're going to need that to get done. Those kind of things. So you should want to build the same kind of relationship with your banking institution. That way, like you just said, where where they will tell you, we have this coming up and this might benefit you, or they'll see certain things that are going on that will benefit you, or the things that you might be able to do versus something else, and it all helps to benefit you. It helps to benefit them, their business as well, because it becomes a long term thing. And like you said, that when you sit down at that table to do when you're trying to do certain things,
right,
people do business with people who they feel comfortable with.
That's right.
And if a bank is familiar with you, if a bank is comfortable with you, they know you. They know, hey, such and such, their money is, it comes through regularly. This is somebody that we know kind of on a, hey, how you doing, on a personal basis. They know your name. They know who you are. They see you frequently and everything like that. They're more likely to work with you. Even if it might be something that you have to work on, They'll
Correct.
be more likely to give you what information you might need in order to
Hey,
be able to get yourself in the position to be able to do what it is that you're trying to do. You know.
100%. Yes, 100%. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, you really want to understand that, really want to, to really work on establishing your banker relationship in 2019. That should be one of your things on your list. Whatever banking institution, you already have a bank account, I'm quite sure.
Correct. Correct.
You already have a bank account. So it's just a matter of setting up an appointment. Set
Yeah.
up an appointment to talk with them,
Correct.
just to kind of introduce yourself, so that they know who you are, what you want to do, things that you're trying to do, as a business owner. And I talked about this the other night, Cedric. I talked about the community. The community is made up of families, the government, the educational system, businesses, and churches. And as a business owner, you should have some kind of relationship with the different aspects of the community. So
Correct.
you know who
Yes.
you are. And one of those relationships, should be with the banks that are in your area. Because
That's
if
correct.
or at least one of them that you have your account with,
Right.
may wind up having a couple of bank accounts that
Exactly.
you can have. I don't know if that's you tell me. Do you think that that's a benefit for somebody to have establish or a relationship with more than one bank to kind of
Oh,
kind of
definitely.
they might get it one that they won't get it the other.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely it is because every bank does something different for business owners. Like I
Okay.
tell people like a good bank, PNC. A lot of people don't
Uh-huh.
know about PNC, but PNC is a great bank
That's
because they help small business owners,
uh-huh.
and their platform works with Dun and Bradstreet and the business credit agencies. So that's a good thing because I tell people if you're going to do business with a company, you want to do business at somebody that reports to the business credit agencies. So,
That's
if you're making payments or things need to report, they automatically reporting without you having to self-report it. So, learning the different qualifications with each bank or having a bank account set up over here and over there is great. You can establish relationships because this bank may give you 50,000 based on the qualifications you have there, and then
mhm.
you can get another 50 from over there. So, hey, using OPM, other people money. So, that's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Now, does that work the same for credit unions? Is it similar or the same or is it
Correct. Yes, and credit
direct?
unions are a lot more lenient if they have that business side. Like
Okay.
Navy Federal is a great bank. They have personal and business.
Okay.
So if you have a family member that's in the military and stuff like that, you can open up an account with them.
Okay. So that's
We
the
have
only
a
way
great
you can open up.
platform to for business owners and on the personal side as well. So yes, credit unions are great too. They're more lenient than the big banks.
Right. Right.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
They
Yes.
usually are. I found that to be true too. They usually are. Uh,
Correct.
So we've dealt with the entrepreneur or the aspiring entrepreneur, in one aspect. So let's talk to that entrepreneur that's already established. They have let's say they have their EIN number. They're registered with the state. They have their EIN number.
Okay.
Let's talk about what's next for them.
Okay. So hopefully, if they got their EIN and they've been in business a while, they may have their DUNS number, which
Mm-hmm.
is great. So what I would tell them is they may have companies that they're working with and buying supplies for that they don't know if they report to the business credit agencies. So I
Okay.
would tell them to establish or call those vendors and say, hey, do you report to Experian? Do you report to Dun and Bradstreet when I make my payments or place my orders? Set up a business account if you don't have one with these suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a net 30 account, because if you don't have a net 30 account, you're just buying supplies from them, then you're probably just buying supplies and you're making your payment right then and there on the spot, and they're just shipping your merchandise. But you should call them up and say, hey, I need to establish a business account or a commercial account. Do you have a net 30? Do you have a revolving account where I
Mm-hmm.
can establish with your business?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So definitely, that's what I would tell existing business owners. And for existing business owners who don't have their DUNS number,
Yeah, that's what
please
I was going to
get
say.
it.
For one that doesn't have their DUNS number. Is there an application or process that they have to go through in order to be able to get that?
Yes. It's a website. It's
Okay.
www.d as in David, the word and, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, D as in David, B as in boy.com. And it's an absolutely free number. Once you go to their website, it should be right in the middle of the screen. It says DUNS number, and it's a drop down, and you apply for your DUNS number right there on the spot. You just fill out some basic information about your company, about your personal, that you're the owner. So that's why you have to fill out that personal bracket to make sure they verify that you are the owner of that company.
Right.
And then within 30 days, you'll get that number absolutely free.
Oh, cool. Okay. Now give that address one more time.
www.d
Mm-hmm.
as in David,
Mm-hmm.
the word and, A-N-D,
Mm-hmm.
B as in boy, .com.
Okay, so that's D&B.com.
That's correct.
All right, so y'all got that. If for those that don't have their Dun and Bradstreet number, that's where you can go to in order to be able to get your number. It's a free, like you said, it's a free number. Takes about 30 days for you to be able to actually get it. So once they get their number, is there anything in particular that they can do with once they get it, or is that where they kind of start to work on, like you said, to establish their credit, where they have to go?
That's correct. Correct. So that's when they start to establish. So that's one of the components to have, because if you don't have that and you're doing business with different companies and they do report, they don't have nowhere to report your payments to say, hey, this company pays on time, they pay early, things of that nature. So you definitely want to have that DUNS number. It's like the social security number to your business, because it's a 9-digit number, just like the EIN, just like our personal social. So you definitely need that number if you're a business owner.
Yeah, and that is so important. And I think for those entrepreneurs that to understand the importance of being seen as a serious business, being seen as a serious business owner, and not something that you're just doing this, let's say as a hobby, or you just, when you have that DMV number, you have that EIN number, or like you said, Cedric, having that professional email address, which I kind of go both ways on the email address.
Yes.
A lot of folks, say, well, you got to have a professional. My thing is this, and this is how I feel about it. As long as I can contact somebody, it's an email address that we can connect with each other, I'm good. But
you're 100% right.
But some folks will look at it and say, well, they're not a legitimate business if they still
correct.
If they use a Yahoo account or a Gmail account. I don't know how trustworthy they are. So if they do have, if they have the business account, if they have the business email address, then they may take you more seriously. Now, I will say this: the higher you begin to go as your business and the folks that you begin to deal with, you certainly want to make sure that you have that. Because
exactly.
If you're trying to do $1 million deals and everything like that, then folks would be like, yeah.
And I totally agree. And it's just like the mobile number. Like you can't really use a mobile number. They need to see, a landline or a toll-free number. And I'm like, okay, we're in 2018. Everybody has a cell number. Like if I can reach out and call you on your cell, what's the difference?
Yeah.
But I tell people, you want to look like a Fortune 500 on paper, whether you had a revenue to back it or not. So you want to look good on paper because that's what they want to see. Credibility. That's all. Yeah. So I totally agree with you on that. But I set up. I don't tell nobody, oh no, you can use that. When it's like, nah, you can't use that. So let's structure you off right first, so you can build this and you don't have to look back. So definitely, totally agree with you on that.
So understand, you're gonna need for this to establish yourself. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need and I say a professional website, a professional email address. A professional, even if it's just like you said, the 800, one of the 800 numbers.
Correct. Yes. Or landline.
Because you can use those, or like, you know, or landline to be able to have it. And when you start to put these things in place, then you start to, you know, then you start to be able to, like you said, look like a Fortune 500 company on
That's
paper,
right.
you
That's
know,
right.
and you kind of see yourself doing things differently because
Different.
now you have to
Right.
act in a certain way. You have to be, you know, you have to be a certain way because you have certain things, and people's expectation of you will
Right.
become, you know, higher for you too. It's like,
That's
oh, okay, they got their, you know, they got their stuff going on. This is somebody that I have to take serious. That
there
I
you
have,
go.
and
There you,
that's what you want. You want
that's it.
people to take you seriously. If you want people to take you seriously as a business owner, then you have to make sure that you conduct yourself in such a manner and having these things in place, having
That's right.
these different tools in place for you to be able to look that way, to look professional, because that's what this is. This is
Yeah.
about a development series. It's about being professional. It's about understanding what professionalism is, and because that's one of the things that I will say, unfortunately, that I've seen with a lot of businesses is they don't conduct themselves professionally.
Correct. Right.
They don't
Exactly.
conduct themselves professionally,
Right.
and that can, you know, that can turn people off. And I'm talking from, you know, from using social media
Right.
unprofessional, you know, and not being professional on social media, all the way to, you know, you saying you have a business, but you don't even have an email address. You don't even,
Correct.
you know, people can't even find your website. You know,
Correct.
they have difficulty finding your website, or you give a website, and then when somebody tries to go to it, they can't connect on the website. Those things
That's
are important. And trust me, when you go to sit down across the table from, you know, from that banking institution,
hmm
these are going to be things that they look at. You know,
that's right.
you want to
That's right.
see, they want to see how you are, who you are, and it speaks volumes when they can go to a website and they see all of these things in place. Then they know, okay, this person is trustworthy. So that's what it is. You asking for some money from somebody, and they want to know, is this person trustworthy?
That's
Is this
it. Right.
somebody that, you know, that if you do lend this money to, we're more than likely going to get it back in return. So
That's right.
you definitely want to make sure that you're set up, you know, in
Correct.
that respect. So, Cedric, so now that we've talked about the individual, the aspiring entrepreneur, we talked
hmm
about the entrepreneur that is kind of out there and establishing themselves. What are some things that I want you to talk about you and what you do with your clients when they come in, and things that you want them to have, the things that you want them to have, but then two, kind of like your steps to getting the capital or the funds that you want in order to be able to get. Take me through that, you know, your kind of like your scenarios of people when they come to sit down, they knock on your door, or they say you see them as being a potential client. So it's kind of like
Okay.
that's what you have.
Got you. So the main thing I tell people is, you know, making sure you have an active business, make sure you have the EIN and the DUNS number, because the DUNS number is the the uh the thing that takes the longest, because that takes up to 30 days.
Great.
But
Okay.
you have that and you come along with my program, everything else you can get pretty quick if you don't have set up. I give a shout out right now to Bernice Lohman. She
Yes.
does professional emails. She does the website. So she has the IT, and she's very cost efficient. So for, you know, entrepreneurs who don't have that, we have somebody who you can reach out to and get those things from. Um, Getting a phone line, that's, you know, that's pretty simple. You get that in, you know, within an hour. You know, there's a couple of companies out there, Grasshopper, eVoice, Ring Central, that you can get a toll-free number from
Mhm.
and get that pretty quick.
Okay.
So as long as people have that DUNS number, which takes the longest, everything else we can get pretty set up quick and start building the credit quick. Because that's what I want to see. I want to get people, because this is the tedious part, the structure part.
Hmm.
Because people don't want to do that part. They just want to take a quick, easy way, get that done. Oh, I need to do it. Yeah, you need this. So let's get all this done. Should take you a week or two. You already got your DUNS number. So the structure to take about another week or two to establish. And then once that, now I can start giving you companies that you can go to start building that credit up for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Start, having that credit profile. So now because another thing people don't know is your business information is public information, so anybody can look it up.
Right.
So when you go to the bank, they can look up your information, and if people see that you got credit established, like Leroy was saying, you got more leverage coming to the table, because if you got great personal credit, you got good business credit, you got money running through that bank, there's no denying you. So now you can start using other people's money, as long as you establish credit profiles on both ends of the spectrum.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I know one of the flyers that I put up when I was promoting about you being on here. It says, what was it? Get 50? Was it get 50,000?
Get 50,000? Yes, 50K. That's right. That's right. So that's the end goal. Yes, sir. Yeah. So what I do is I show you how to build a minimum of $50,000 in business credit. And towards the end of the program, I show you where you get your first credit card for your business. That can range from $5,000 to $20,000. Because a lot of people want that one credit card where they can take their trips or buy supplies off of and things of that nature. So that MasterCard you can use for anything you want. So that's the end result of my program. 50K plus that one credit card. Show you where you get that from. So
now, you just mentioned that. Now talk a little bit about, I guess, as much as you kind of can. I ain't giving folks all the tea, because
no problem.
We want them to come and we want them to talk to you. But talk a little bit about your program and what got you started in creating the program that you created, why you created it, and then kind of talk about the benefits of the program that you have and what somebody coming through your program will gain once they finish.
Okay, so how I got started in 2016, I myself was looking for funding. Because when I left the corporate space, I didn't have a game plan.
Okay.
Something happened at my old job. I got accused of something, which wasn't true. Mm-hmm. And I just said, they taking another direction. I'm going to go ahead and resign, because I don't want my credibility or my character to be tarnished.
Okay.
So I gave my resignation in December 2015, opened up my company in January 2016, and I myself needed funding. So along the process of, I had a decent credit score, 660. I ran into a gentleman that he was doing funding, but he was also doing business credit.
Okay.
And I had a conversation with him, another business owner, and he talked about it and showed me some things, and I just started working with him. Mm-hmm. And I started learning the process on my own. So I was like, because he wasn't really a teacher. He was just trying to get people set up. The software was doing whatever, and he was about making his money. Which, hey, that's him, So I just say, you know what? Let me make myself a test dummy, and started putting some things together and learning along the way. Mm-hmm. So with my program, it's 4 phases that I use. The first phase is the structure. And then phases 2, 3, and 4, now I show people how to build the credit up. So there's tier levels to building the credit up.
Okay.
Tier 1, you start off with a couple of vendor accounts, net 30 accounts. And then tier 2, we move into gas cards and direct-to-store credit. So that's when Chevron, Staples, Dell, those companies start to come into play.
Okay.
Then once I build 10 accounts to your Dun & Bradstreet / Experian profile, then I show you in the third tier where you get that one credit card for your business. So when you add up all your trade lines that we established, you should have a minimum of $50,000 built up. Mm-hmm. Now, the great thing about my program is I'm coaching you through the process. Mm-hmm. So you're learning as we go. Mm-hmm. So when you finish, now you have the blueprint to do it for other companies. You can pass it on to your family members, your children. And now you know the do's and the don't. So you don't have to attach your personal information to a business account. Okay. If somebody came to you and say, hey, we need you. No, you don't. All I need is to put my business information. I have trade lines. If you need a couple of trade references, I can put them on the application. Do you need that? Oh, okay. And you put that down and you keep it moving. And you let them run it off the business EIN. And then they will see that you have trade lines established or credit established for the business. So that's the one great thing about it. And now, like I said, you have suppliers where you can go buy your supplies from without having to spend on the spot. If a computer breakdown right now, you had a Dell account, just order up your computer and pay it back monthly or whatever the terms are. If you need supplies for the office, run to Staples, they send you a package the next day, and then you pay it back when they invoice you. So that's the great benefits about building business credit for the business.
Absolutely. So for someone that may be interested in your program and say, "Wow, this sounds really great. This is something that I think I really need." Is this something that they need to be there with you? And because I know you're in Florida, you're based out of Florida.
Correct.
Do they need to be in Florida, or is this something that you can do virtually, where you can do kind of country nationwide?
Okay, so no, we can do this all through the phone. Everything is done virtually. If they want to do Skype or Zoom, we can do that. But most of this is done. I do all this over the phone with my clients. I walk them through an introduction. So once they get the application and the agreement, and they get that back to me, I then take their payment. That means they're ready to move forward. And then I do an introduction call. The introduction call is just I walk my clients through. Okay, these are the other things you need to set up: A, B, C, D, E, F. I follow up with you in a week. See that. If you're done, that's cool. We can start building the credit. If you need another week, I follow up with another week. Then once that's complete, then I just give them 2 companies every month to start applying to. And then once those report to the business credit agencies, then we move forward to the next 2. And then we start building the credit that way. So yes, don't need to sit down or nothing like that. Everything can be done. Technology is
I know, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Lesson of the curse, but it's all right.
I kind of say this when it comes to small businesses. It's actually leveled the playing field for so many small businesses, because you don't have to be you don't have to necessarily be sitting across from each other, but you can still have that personal relationship that you that you can see each other virtually, or like you said, you can talk on the phone. You don't necessarily have to be right there with someone. Whereas years ago, you couldn't do something like this.
Correct.
And be able to be able to have your business together.
That's right. That's correct.
This 21st century way of doing business and being connected like this.
Correct.
I think it's an awesome thing. And you said something I want to pick up on. Now, is Dun & Bradstreet connected to Experian and the three credit bureaus, or is that something that's separate?
They're separate. Okay. So each one is separate. Dun & Bradstreet, to me, they're like the ADP of the payroll world. They're the biggest ones on the credit side. Everybody goes through Dun & Bradstreet. Most companies go through Dun & Bradstreet. Okay. Experian has a platform for business.
Right.
Equifax has one. There's a company called Credit Safe. So there's a few platforms on the business side that different companies report to.
Oh, okay. So when you talk about that, now different businesses report to different ones, just like with your personal credit, some report to Experian, some report to TransUnion.
That's correct. Yes. Right. So you may have one company that reports to 3 or 4 of them. You may have one that reports to just one, or they may report to 2. But as long as they report to somebody, I tell business owners, do business with them, because they are reporting on the business side. Okay. You don't want to do big business with somebody and they don't report, because you can't build that profile for yourself. You want to show a good profile, a good credit profile, because it just, once you establish that, then other companies will want to give you credit. So it's just building off of it, because it's public information. So inquiries don't hurt you. If I go out today and fill out 10 applications for the business, none of those inquiries are hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, so inquiries don't hurt. So you can go apply 2, 3 a day, and it doesn't hurt at all.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, for those that may not be familiar with business credit, and you tell me, because I know, like on the personal side, your credit is like broken down into certain percentages, how they get your, how they define what your credit is. Is that the same way? Can you talk a little bit about that on the business aspect, or the business side of it, how your credit score is determined?
Okay, so to establish on a business side, it's called the PAYDEX score. For anybody who didn't know that, so it's called a PAYDEX score. To establish that PAYDEX score, you need to have at least 3 to 4 payment experiences or payments towards your profile. Once you have about 3 or 4, then that PAYDEX score will be created. So the score ranges from 0 to 100. Anything 80 or above, I'm gonna say 75 or above is good. Anything above 80 is excellent. Like that's great. So that's based on how early you pay an invoice. So let's say your invoice was due on, you ordered something on 12/1, it was due on 12/30. The earlier you pay it back, the better. If you wait a day, if you wait the day of, that's okay. You still can get an 80 and it's still post, but I tell people pay it as early as you can because you always want to get that score above the 80 mark. So the earlier the pay, the better. Keeping your ratio 30% utilization of your business credit. You want to keep that at 30%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a factor. Those are the two main factors when it comes to the score. Okay. There's other little factors that equate to that, but I tell people, as long as you make your payments on time and earlier the better, you're good.
All right, tell me this, because this is something that I've always wondered about, even on the personal side, because you just said something that you want to keep it at 30%
or less.
Yeah, or less, which means you really don't have as much credit as you think you have because you can't use what you have, right?
No, you know the thing about it is, if you max out a card, most people can't pay it back, and the next time you do. So that you know that cycle's over, and that kind of hurts you. So you kind of tell people keep it at a certain percentage because I know you probably can only pay this back. So you kind of give people
That's true.
And I tell people don't overextend yourself just because you got 5,000 or 3,000. Don't go and just
spend all of it, right?
Yeah, take your time with it. It's always gonna be there. And as a business owner, they want to see you spend it. So as long as you're spending 100 here, 200 there, 150 here, that's good. That doesn't hurt you at all. You don't gotta go and I can spend 2,000 right now and pay it back next month because you may not can't. So keep it at a threshold. Definitely keep it at a threshold. So that's why 30% utilage is like, hey, don't go above it. Please don't go above it.
and people have to understand that, like you just said, because even if your credit limit is $5,000, you don't want to. You obviously, if you go and spend $5,000, most of these aren't like American Express. American Express, I know you have to pay back within 30 days.
Correct. Yes.
30 days. Now, unless you have that kind of cash flow where you know that it's going to be coming in and that's going to be specifically where you can go and pay it off. You want to do that. But I think a lot of people, almost like their personal credit, they get into trouble by overextending themselves. Instead of saying, you know what, okay, I'm going to put myself on a business budget. Put yourself on a business budget. Because if you say, okay, I know I need to get X amount of supplies. I know I need to be able to get this to cover, whatever thing that you may have to do for a particular client. You get that, you take care of what you need to take care of, and then okay, that money's coming in. So when I get that money coming in, I can already go ahead and take care of what it is that I already borrowed against that money.
Right.
And you got to be, and I keep going back to this, you have to have a strategy about growing, because as a business, as you grow and you get bigger, and I keep saying this, every Fortune 500 company started off as a small business.
Yes, all day long.
And the way that they grew was they knew that they were at a certain level. Okay, I know I'm at a certain level. I can only spend a certain amount of money. When you have that business credit established, I can only spend a certain amount of money right now.
Right.
That next level, then you can say, okay, I can spend a little bit more. So you have to be strategic about it. You have to have a plan, and you have to have a mindset. And this is my thing. I'm big on mindset.
Correct.
Especially going into 2019, it's about shifting mindset. I think you and I have talked about this before. Shifting people's mindset and people understanding how money works.
That's right.
How to effectively use your money, so that you can be able to do and grow. Because I think that should be your goal. I would think that's your goal. Most of those that are listening, entrepreneurs that are listening, you are looking to grow your business. So you don't want to grow too fast. You don't want to try and get out there and do too much, and then you wind up, like you say, overextending yourself, and you can't needs of your clients that you have, and you wind up, messing up your business, which in turn will mess up your business credit.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
You don't want to do so.
Correct.
We're kind of winding down a little bit here, but I want you to give out your contact information for those that will watch this and see this and say, hey, I want to have a consultation with Cedric, or I want to get in on his program because his program sounds like something that I want to be a part of or should want to go through. Before you do that, how long is your program? How long is your program?
Oh, it takes 6 to 9 months to build out. Yes, 6 to 9 months. That's pretty much the time frame. As long as they stay on it, as long as I say, hey, okay, do this, and you kind of get it done within that, but I'm there till that we reach the end goal. I don't just say, okay, your 6 to 9 months is up.
Wow.
I'm there till we reach that end goal and you understand how this process works. And most people, the first 2 months, they like, okay, I got it. And, they calling up the companies and they sound better than me. I'm like, okay, I thought I was a little bit. I thought I was a coach. All right, nah, you can't be and that's what I want to hear. I want to hear people understand the concept on how it works. So now I know once they get out the program, once they move forward, they can teach others how to build it up and move forward and grow their company. And it's great to hear, clients, sounding good and talking and talking the lingo, because it's all about the lingo. I said, when you start talking the lingo with bankers and other people in the financial world, like you said, they look at you different.
I'm sure they do. Yeah,
it just works, so. And if anybody want to reach out to me, my direct number they can reach me at is 954-329-4188. They can also reach me by email. If they have any questions, they can only contact me by email. It's cbutler, BUTLER, at new, NEW, era, ERA, success, SUCCESS.net.
Absolutely. And give you, I guess, your other platforms that you want to, so people can check you out as well.
Oh, okay. So they can go to my website.
All of your information. Yep.
Definitely. I appreciate that. So my website, they can go to my website, which is www.new-era-success.net. They can see me on Facebook. My business page is The Business Credit Guy on Facebook. They can reach me on Instagram at my company's name, New Era Success LLC. So those are the platforms they can also reach me at and follow me on and get some information there as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is the guy that you wanna contact, that you wanna connect with. Trust me, he's gonna assist you with getting you where you want to be with your business credit. Get you talking the lingo, like you said, so that you have an understanding, even if it's just a basic understanding of it, and how important that is, so that when you go in with to talk with your banker, you know what you're talking about. You know what they're doing. You actually know what they're doing.
Right.
So that you can understand what it is that they're doing, and then how that can best benefit your business and being able to more effectively run your business. Because the more effective you are with your money, the more things you're able to do with your money or other people's money.
Correct.
With being able to do it. So it's very important that that everybody understands that's listening tonight. That you grasp that and that you understand that we want you to be able to have. We want you to have businesses. We want your business to be successful.
That's right.
In order for your business to be successful, you have to have a plan in place. Like I said, I'm going to keep talking this. I'm going to keep talking this. You got to see it. You got to write it, and then you have to work it. That means you got to see your business. You have to write your plan for your business, and then you got to work it.
That's right.
This is what this is about. You got to see your money, see what it is how your money needs to be, what it needs to do. You got to write out what it is that you want to do, that you need to do, and that you have to do. That you want to do, but I'm going to say that again, that you want, the thing that you want to do, that you need to do, and that you have to do.
I like that. That's right. That's right.
When it comes to your money. So.
That's right. And I'm going to piggyback off that.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Guys have to be, all this comes down to being disciplined.
Mm.
You got to be disciplined when you're doing this. And the second thing you're going to run into obstacles.
Mm.
You can overcome them obstacles. It's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody be doing it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you keep pushing. You run into an obstacle, you're gonna find a solution. May not be right then and there. You may have to talk it through to a coach or another business partner, but you're gonna find that solution, and then you're gonna move forward and continue to scale up. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. And he's saying it best. You gotta have that plan. Stick with it. Just stick with it. Stick with it.
And that's the main thing, like discipline and then consistency.
That's it.
Because
Yes.
that helps you to be able to, because anything or anyone that we think of that is great, they were consistent at what they did.
There you go.
Working at it.
That's right.
And I keep saying this too, that it becomes a part of your lifestyle.
Correct.
It's a part of your lifestyle.
That's right.
Once you're doing it and you're doing it on a consistent basis, it becomes a part of your lifestyle. It just becomes natural to you.
Yes.
You won't even think about it.
No.
You won't
right.
even think about
That's right. It becomes a habit. It's just
right.
It's second nature. It's like, oh, okay. I didn't know I do that every day. Yeah, you do it every day. so definitely.
I'm gonna let you end it just to talk to the folks that are out here. I want you to just talk about you can end it on talking about the importance of business credit, the importance of keeping your business credit score, good, and then also, just about the understanding the money, their money, the importance of their business credit for what they can do in 2019, setting themselves up for success in 2019.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it short and simple and let people know when you establish business credit or when you're going through that process, whether you're a startup or existing, I tell people the best time to get credit is when you don't need it. Mm-hmm. So you're not rushing to, I need that account, I need this account. Mm-hmm. You're just going through it nice and smooth. You're building your business, you're scaling your business. So the best time to build credit up is when you don't need it. So you'll have it, and when you do establish the credit lines, now you keep them intact by placing your orders, paying them back on time, keeping that good paydex score up, and now you're bringing more leverage to the table. So you're keeping your personal credit intact as well. If you don't have good personal credit, please business owners, work on that, because you're going to need that when you're trying to get loans or a line of credit from the bank, or you're going to need a business credit card from the major banks, because they do look at that. But the great thing about it is, if you establish business credit and they pull your profile, they'll give you not just the minimum, they'll give you a little bit more, because they see lines of credit reporting the Dun & Bradstreet or Experian, whoever they pull from. Mm-hmm. So that's a great thing. So I just tell business owners, when they establish it, it just helps you, because in the long run, all we want to do is get lines of credit or loans, use other people's money to double, triple, and grow our business, make more money, and build generational wealth for our families and our future. So to me, that's the importance of establishing business credit and having great personal credit, so you can get lines of credit and loans in the near future to grow and scale your business.
Absolutely. So Cedric, I want to thank you again for joining us, man. You've given us some great information, some great knowledge, some great information, and some great resources that folks can use in order to be able to get their credit, their business credit, right going into 2019, because we want people to be better in 2019 than they were in 2018. And the way that you do that is by doing things like this, by talking to, calling up, connecting with guys, people like Cedric, who are able to walk you through. I don't know too many folks that are going to walk you through the whole process.
Right. Exactly.
Being able to do that. So this is somebody that you really want to talk to, that you really want to connect with, that you really want to use this program. Go get into this program to be able to get yourself where you want to be, and it's a worthwhile investment, worth it to go through, because on the other side of it, you're going to be better after you come out of it than you were before you went in. So those are the things that I look for. So I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you doing it. One more time before we go, give your contact information where people can connect with you, your website address and everything like that. Okay.
Definitely. And it's a pleasure being on your platform. It's the second time we do it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, Leroy. Definitely much love to you. You've been doing a great job on your side. I see you growing and scaling and connecting with a lot of people and building those relationships, like you said. It's great. I met Leroy maybe about a year now through social media. And we staying in contact and building that relationship and helping each other grow our business. So definitely, I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you. And once again, my name is Cedric Butler. You can reach me out at 954-329-4188. That's 954-329-4188. My website is www.newerasuccess.net.
Absolutely. So we want to thank y'all for joining in, tuning in. If you watch the replay, y'all will be able to see this to Black professional men, as y'all know, because it's our mission to secure the future of the African American male. That's what we do. That's how we do. And this is one of the ways that we do it, by giving you information, resources, and tools that equip you to be able to be better. So we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. This is the Brand New Development Series. We'll see you all next month as well as we continue this, because we're going to continue it because this is something that we believe is actually needed in our community, for our community, so that we can be better as a community. So we thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all again. That's it. Again, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a good one. Good night, everyone. Appreciate it.